How can you go out and have fun while leaving me here? Are you still a part of this family? I'm not having fun. I'm working. Don't lie to me. Aren't you meeting some man? That's not true at all. Despite me being a great homemaker, my father-in-law shows no gratitude. Instead, he constantly orders me around. Such a situation is mentally and physically exhausting. You should take a little break. I would love to, but I can't. Hey. How long are you going to dawdle? Hurry up and come here. I'm no longer treated as part of the family. More like a housemaid, or even a slave. Come immediately when I call you. I'm sorry. I'm feeling good today. I'm going out, so you must come with me. Where are we going? Don't ask unnecessary questions. With that, he forcibly tried to drag me out. Seeing this, my mother-in-law spoke up. I'm sorry. If I were in better health, I could help more. I'm fine. Please take care of yourself. And could you please keep an eye on the kids? Leave them to me. Thank you. I thought, where are we going today? Hurry up and let's go. In the end, he made me drive him to a casino an hour away by car. I'll be going now. Don't you dare go anywhere. Understood. By the way, since you're free, buy me some cigarettes within 10 minutes. I'm counting on you. This happens every week. Unable to handle him ourselves, my mother-in-law and I decided to ask my husband to speak to him. So, we called him. What's wrong? It's about your father. Dad? Lately, he's been particularly harsh. So? He's treating you terribly too. Don't you think it's strange? That's why I want you to talk to him. Then my husband said something unbelievable. Why do I have to do that? Dad is injured and can barely move. It's your job to take care of him. Don't call me for such a stupid reason. Seriously? That's not fair. I'm busy here. I'm hanging up. This call was my last hope. But now, even that is gone. I had completely forgotten, but my husband was keeping secrets from us. Recently, I've been too overwhelmed by my father-in-law to notice. How did it go? Catherine, who had come into the living room, asked about the call. Not at all. He was no help. I see. With things like this, I realized I had no choice but to take my final step. If this continued, I might collapse again. In fact, my dizziness had been getting worse these past few days. Even that morning, I wasn't feeling well. What are you doing? I just felt a little dizzy. Dizzy? Just push through it. Please stop. Unable to stand, I sat down, and he poked me with his cane. This was intolerable. But his abuse didn't stop. Just then, Catherine came in. What are you doing? This is your fault for not doing your part. Do you understand? He began hitting Catherine with his cane. Holding my aching head, I shielded her. Catherine, stop this already. Playing the hero now? You used to obey me. That's because. It's okay. You're not at fault. I'll let it go for today. Now get back to work. Are you all right? Any injuries? I'm fine. But. Just then, the intercom rang. I'll get it. As I headed to the entrance, I received an envelope from Tom. Did something arrive? It's from Tom. My mother-in-law and I opened the envelope. Inside was a completed divorce paper. What's this? A divorce paper? It looks like it. I understood that this meant he wanted me to file for divorce. So I just need to submit this, right? Wait a minute. Are you really going to submit it? Isn't this a mistake? Even my mother-in-law was flustered. But who sends a divorce paper by mistake? No matter how you look at it, this isn't normal. Besides, I didn't care about the reasons behind sending it. Whether this is a lie or a mistake, I don't care. What do you mean by that? Just wait a moment. I told my mother-in-law the truth and told her he will go to hell. I am Emily, living with my husband and our 2 daughters. After graduating from college, I returned to my hometown and got a job as a clerk at a small company. It was through an introduction from my boss at the time that I met my husband, Tom. Tom was an elite who worked for a well-known company. He seemed to come from a completely different world than me. What? You too, Emily? So, that means you too, Tom. I live on the east side of the station. I live on the west side. We have a lot in common. I never thought we were from the same hometown. Tom was 4 years older than me, and we even went to the same high school. Despite meeting for the first time, we had a lively conversation about our hometown. I had a great time today. Can we meet again? Yes. However, since Tom usually lived in Tokyo, there was a distance between us. This time, it was fortunate that he happened to be home for a visit. After that, we managed to make time to meet. Although we couldn't meet frequently, I still looked forward to it. So when Tom confessed his love to me 3 months later, I remember feeling truly happy. Are you sure you want to be with me? Of course. Smart and urbane. I was thrilled just to be able to date someone so wonderful. At that time, I was 26 years old. After about a year of dating, we got married. So, Emily, I want you to come to Tokyo with me. To Tokyo?
Yeah.
I work for a company in Tokyo. But that means you'll have to quit your job. Certainly, it wasn't realistic to maintain a marriage while working at my current company. Of course, my answer was yes. Yes, I'll go to Tokyo too. Thank you. A year passed after we moved to Tokyo. I became pregnant with our first child. Thanks to Tom's support, I safely gave birth to our first daughter, Mia. The problem was my in-laws. When I first met them, they seemed like kind people. However, after Mia was born, their attitudes changed drastically. We've come to see our grandchild. So, where is she? Why are you here, father, mother? Though, were we not supposed to come? It's not that. If only they had given me a heads up, I could have prepared. So, where's Mia? Please wait. It's her usual nap time now. So? I wondered what these people were thinking. They came unannounced, said whatever they wanted, did whatever they pleased, and then left. Well, we're leaving now. Make sure to have tea ready next time. That night, I talked to Tom about it. That can't be true. Are you saying I'm lying? I'm not saying that. Okay, I'll talk to them next time. Is that all right? Make sure you do. Don't worry so much. By the way, I might be getting a promotion soon. Really?
Yeah.
Then we can live a better life. After that, Tom started coming home late at night. And I thought it was because he was working hard. Additionally, my in-laws became much calmer, probably because Tom talked to them. Finally, we can live in peace. Or so I thought, but a new problem arose. I had a childhood friend, Jessica. She also lived in Tokyo, and we decided to go for lunch after a long time. Long time no see. Really, how long has it been? Well, since Mia was born, about half a year? Even though we're both in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I've been busy with kids. We had a lively conversation about random things. Much of the conversation was us complaining. It seems like it's the same everywhere. Why does it turn out like this? It's not like we did anything. Exactly. But we can't ignore it. Jessica pointed outside. Look, isn't that Tom? What? I looked outside and saw Tom walking on the opposite sidewalk with a woman. They look pretty close. Is she a colleague? I think so. I hope so, anyway.
Yeah.
Really? At that time, we laughed it off, but the scene stuck with me after I got home. It looked like they were linking arms. I'm home. Why do you look so serious? Oh, it's nothing. Actually, today I met a friend for the first time in a while. I saw someone who looked like you with a woman, and they seemed to be linking arms. I said it couldn't be possible. Of course not. I was at work at that time. I didn't miss the brief moment of silence after my question. His voice also seemed a bit shaky. If nothing happened, that would be the best. But this subtle pause made me anxious. About a year after Mia was born, I got pregnant with our second child. I was happy, of course, but about 6 months into the pregnancy, I got a frantic call from Tom. What's wrong? Why do you sound so panicked? My dad was in an accident. What? Is he okay? I don't know yet. I'm heading to the hospital now. I'll call you when I know more. The call ended. Tom came home looking exhausted and explained that his parents were hit by a car while walking. The bumper of the car hit his dad's right leg. He was told that his right leg would be permanently impaired. In this case, we'll have to live together. What? Dad won't be able to move properly, and Mom isn't very strong. But it's not that simple. I've thought it through. I can't do it. I knew what he was going to say next. I'm sorry, but can you live with them? I can't leave Tokyo because of work. Wait. Isn't there a way to bring them here? No. They'd definitely prefer their own home. He was trying to make decisions on his own. Please, I'm begging you. Even if we live together, I can't do much for a while. What? I'm pregnant, remember? Oh, right. But it'll be fine. How could it be fine? It wasn't fine at all. Tom immediately called his mother and arranged for me to move in there. I could only sigh. I would have to live with 2 people I didn't get along with. And now I had to care for my father-in-law as well. All right. Mom agreed. So, when do I have to go there? Right now. What? That's impossible. Please, make it work. It was already night. Plus, taking my young child and heading to my hometown while pregnant was insane. There's no way I can do it today. Since you made these decisions without me, I'll decide when I go. Okay, just calm down, alright? How can I calm down in this situation? I finally went to my in-laws' house 2 weeks later. We agreed that my mother-in-law would take care of my father-in-law until I gave birth to my second child. Thus, I ended up staying at my in-laws' house. But living there was far worse than I had imagined. The initial agreement with the mother-in-law was not upheld. My mother-in-law dumped all the caregiving and household chores on me. This is too much, isn't it? Why? You came here for this, didn't you? What happened to our initial agreement? Did we make such an agreement? Stop complaining and get to work. I struggled desperately. With a body that couldn't move properly, I managed everything. As a result, some things were left undone. My father-in-law couldn't tolerate this. Can't you even clean properly? There's too much to do. Unbelievable. Living off your husband's earnings and acting so high and mighty. This wasn't about acting high and mighty. The situation worsened further. After returning from a regular checkup, I found Tom at the house. Even though he was supposed to be in Tokyo. Why are you here? I have something important to discuss. Sit down. What could it be? Actually, I've been assigned to a new position in a big city. What? I guess my efforts have been recognized. That's my son, I'm so proud. That's amazing. Where to? Los Angeles, California. My in-laws were excited, but I felt the opposite. A business relocation, in a different state, at a time like this. Sorry, but please take care of things here. I didn't reply. Not even a response? Really? Less than a week later, Tom left for LA. I wondered how he could leave so quickly. By this time, my mental state was already in shambles. Then, an incident occurred. As usual, my father-in-law was working me hard that day. Already at my limit, I brought the tea he requested to his room, but I spilled it. I'm sorry. In that instant, my father-in-law, who had been using a cane since being discharged from the hospital, struck my belly with it. The intense pain and my chronic fatigue made me feel faint. I'm so tired. I lost consciousness. When I came to my senses, I was lying in a hospital bed. Someone must have called an ambulance. It couldn't have been my father-in-law. The door to my room opened, and my mother-in-law entered. Upon seeing me, she began to cry heavily. What's wrong? I'm so sorry. I never thought it would come to this. She kept apologizing repeatedly. According to her, she had never been able to stand up to my father-in-law. But after I collapsed, she realized the errors of her ways. She was actually a kind person. From now on, I'll do my best to help you, Emily. That's very kind, but please don't overdo it. The cause of my collapse was mainly overwork and stress. Thankfully, the baby was also safe and I was discharged. From then on, with my mother-in-law's help, life became much more comfortable. She would help me out of sight of my father-in-law, as he would get angry if he saw her assisting me. Thanks to her help, I was able to give birth to my second daughter, Aaliyah. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. I didn't do much. Several years passed quickly. Tom only came home about once a year. But he cherished the time with children during his short visits. You've gotten quite good at holding them, haven't you? Really? Have you been practicing? How could I practice that? With, like, a stuffed animal? No way. Except for my father-in-law, I had no major complaints. Having my mother-in-law as an ally made a big difference. When the kids started going to daycare, I got some time to work part-time at my previous job. Although it was only for a few hours until the kids came home, it was a great way to refresh. As my mother-in-law regained her health, my father-in-law seemed to weaken. He used to be able to go for walks with a cane, but now he mostly stayed in bed. Emily, take a break today. I'll take care of him. But then. It's fine, it's fine. By this time, my father-in-law was too tired to get angry and rarely complained. However, he became more demanding due to his inability to move. Can't you even do this? It's physically difficult for me. So that's just an excuse? It's not an excuse. It's the truth. Truth or lie, it doesn't matter to me. Just do what you're told. Watching her get scolded made me want to help. Eventually, we decided to take care of him together. This way, we could deflect some of his criticisms by working together. Hello? Emily, I need to talk to you. This phone call turned my vague anger towards Tom into something more concrete. It was also the beginning of the end. Why are you in such a rush? I'll explain in person. Got it. I hurried to the cafe where we agreed to meet. After a few hours and a train ride, I arrived in Tokyo. Sorry, I'm a bit late. No worries. So, what's this about? I'm sorry to spring this on you, but I need you to see something. Jessica showed me a photo. It clearly showed Tom's face, and beside him was a woman I didn't know. When was this taken? Jessica looked uncomfortable. Tell me. This was taken the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday? I told Jessica about Tom's overseas business trip. She couldn't have imagined he was still in Japan. That's why it was hard for her to tell me. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Could you send this photo to me? Of course. But what are you going to do? I need to do some digging. If there's anything I can do, let me know. Thank you. I'll rely on you if I need to. I parted ways with Jessica. Though I smiled at her, my mind was in turmoil. I immediately went to a highly rated detective agency I found online. I explained the situation and requested an investigation. If he's in Tokyo, he might be at our old place. I haven't heard about canceling the lease. I asked them to check the area around our previous home. As I left the office, my mother-in-law called. Hello? Emily, where are you? Sorry for not saying anything. I'm in Tokyo right now. Tokyo? Please come back soon. Okay, I understand. She sounded very agitated. I took the train back to my in-laws' house. When I opened the door, I saw things scattered everywhere. In the living room, my mother-in-law was tidying up. What happened here? Welcome back. Your father-in-law threw a fit earlier. What happened? I don't even know. As we cleaned up, my father-in-law stormed into the living room, looking irritated. So, you're finally back. What's going on here? I lost big at the casino today. With this leg, it's the only fun I have. You're kidding. I couldn't help but blurt out. What did you say? We can't deal with you throwing tantrums over something like that. My frustration from the incident in Tokyo made me snap at him. But my egoistic father-in-law couldn't tolerate it. How dare you lecture me, you worthless woman? He grabbed a nearby cup and threw it at me. It shattered on the floor. Clean this up. He retreated to his room. What was he trying to achieve? From then on, he would get angry at the smallest things. He was the embodiment of unfairness. One Sunday. How dare you go out and have fun while I'm here? Are you even part of this family? I'm not out having fun. I'm working. You're probably meeting some guy. That's not true. I was managing the house, taking care of the kids, and looking after him. Yet he never showed any gratitude. He just kept giving orders. It was exhausting both physically and mentally. You should take a break. I wish I could. Hey. How long are you going to stand there? Get over here. I was no longer treated like family. I was like a servant, or even a slave. Come immediately when called. I'm sorry. I'm feeling good today. We're going out, so come with me. Where are we going? Don't ask unnecessary questions. He tried to forcibly drag me out. Seeing this, my mother-in-law spoke up. I'm sorry. If I weren't in this condition, I could help more. I'm fine. Please take care of yourself. And could you keep an eye on kids? Leave them to me. Thank you. Where are we going today? I wondered. Hurry up, let's go. He wanted to go to a casino an hour away by car. That meant I had to drive. I'll be inside. Don't leave. And get me some cigarettes within 10 minutes. Understood. This became our weekly routine. Unable to handle it ourselves, my mother-in-law and I decided to ask Tom to talk to his father. We called Tom. What's up? It's about your father. My dad? He's been especially harsh lately. So? He treats your mother horribly too. Don't you think that's wrong? Could you talk to him? Tom's response was shocking. Why should I? My dad is injured and can't move well. It's your job to take care of him. Don't bother me with such small things. That's not fair. I'm busy. I'm hanging up. I hoped this call would bring some relief. But that hope was gone. I had forgotten about Tom's secrets amidst the chaos with my father-in-law. How did it go? My mother-in-law asked about the call. No help at all. I see. I realized I had to take drastic measures. Continuing like this would make me collapse again. In fact, my dizziness had been getting worse lately. That day, I felt particularly unwell. What are you doing? I'm feeling dizzy. Dizzy? Just push through it. Please stop. I sat down, unable to stand. He poked me with his cane. This was intolerable. His abuse continued. Just then, my mother-in-law came in. What are you doing? It's your fault for not managing things properly. Do you understand? He started hitting her with his cane. I covered my mother-in-law, pressing my throbbing head. Stop this right now. Playing the hero now? You used to follow my every command. It's okay. It's not your fault, mother. I'll let it go for today. Now, get back to work. Are you all right? Are you hurt? I'm fine. But more importantly, the doorbell rang. I'll get it. At the door, there was an envelope from Tom. Did something arrive? It's from Tom. We opened the envelope together. Inside was a completed divorce application. What's this? A divorce paper? It looks like it. This meant he wanted me to file for divorce. So I just need to submit this, right? Wait a minute. Are you really going to submit it? Isn't this a mistake? Even my mother-in-law was flustered. But who sends a divorce paper by mistake? No matter how you look at it, this isn't normal. Besides, I didn't care about the reasons behind sending it. Whether this is a lie or a mistake, I don't care. What do you mean by that? Just wait a moment. I knew Tom's true nature. I went to the bedroom and brought out a large envelope from a drawer. This will show you Tom's true self. Inside were many photos and reports. They confirmed his infidelity and that the overseas business relocation was a lie. It was all to live with the woman in the photos. So, we've been deceived for years? Yes, and that's not all. There were photos of Tom acting like a good husband and a father to the woman. What's this? This is the real Tom. The child he's holding is his. This can't be. I had it thoroughly investigated. It's certain. What will you do now, Emily? Of course, I'll take revenge. I'm not the kind of woman who can stay silent after all this. Hearing this, my mother-in-law got serious and offered to help. Are you sure? Yes, absolutely. Then let's go. He should be at that house at this time. We quickly got ready to leave. My father-in-law, seeing us, demanded. Hey. Where are you going at this hour? What about dinner? Do it yourself. It was the first time I saw her raise her voice like that. Even my father-in-law was shocked, frozen with his mouth open. Let's leave him and go. Yes. We took the train to Tokyo. I'm still a bit nervous. From what happened before we left? Yes. I can't believe I didn't stand up to him sooner. You were amazing. We arrived in Tokyo and headed straight to the house. I can't believe he's living here. I was surprised too. But it must have been convenient for him to take advantage of your husband's injury. What a fool he is. Let's go. I rang the doorbell. Tom answered the door. What are you doing here? I should be asking you that. I'm coming in. Wait. I went straight to the living room. There, I saw a happy family having dinner together. Did you send the divorce papers? What? No, I didn't. So it was you. The woman's name was Eliza, a subordinate of Tom's. I just wanted you to divorce quickly. Fine. What? I don't want a man like him. And if you're going to fake a letter, pay attention to the stamps. I threw the envelope at her. Despite supposedly being sent from overseas, the stamps were Japanese with domestic postmarks. This is a clear case of infidelity, so I'll be expecting compensation and child support. As long as you handle that, do what you want. I have something to add. Mom. You can take care of a father as well. I'm not living with him anymore. Why? I realized there's no benefit in staying with a man like that. So, take care of him too. I'll leave the divorce papers here. Wait. We left the house. I'll never forget Tom's face at that moment. By the way, what will you do about father? I'm thinking of divorcing him too. Really? Then why don't you live with us? What? I'm sure the kids would be happy. We started preparing to leave my in-laws' house. At the same time, we hired a lawyer to handle the compensation and child support claims. My father-in-law resisted with all his might. You can't just leave. I won't allow it. Your opinion doesn't matter. Let's go. I don't want to stay here another second. But my mother-in-law's eyes were cold, almost like she lost her soul. We moved to a different city, not wanting to risk my father-in-law following us. As for Tom, after our divorce, he lived with Eliza in that house. I considered telling his company about it but decided against it. If he lost everything, he wouldn't be able to pay child support. He'd carry that burden for nearly 20 years. Well, that's just the way it is. We started walking a new path. We were no longer bound by anything. We are on a bright, hopeful path.